Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the third episode of our YouTube NFL podcast. Today, I am here with my friends Frank and Nando. Welcome back, guys. How about we get started? So, the Giants have stunned the world at a 4-1 record, tied with the Dallas Cowboys, and only one game behind the Philadelphia Eagles going into Week 6. Guys, are the Giants for real? Nanda?
It is early in the season, so I could see the Giants having a bunch of bad games coming up.
That is
Like
true, yeah.
so far, Saquon, best running back in the NFL as of recently. He has looked phenomenal, but how the Giants line is too. But I just want to see how Daniel Jones does. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? So it just depends on how he does and how he continues to play with the receivers he has.
Yes.
So far, Saquon has looked really good. So if he stays healthy, I think they will stay a good team, and maybe I could see them being a wild card team because I do see the division stepping up. But
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. How about you, Frank? What do you think?
I can definitely see them being a wild card team as well, but I just don't think they're for real because if you look, no one really thought they were going to beat the Packers.
That is true.
Everyone thought they were going to lose to the Cowboys. They did. I just think Brian Daboll is doing the most he could out of this team, but they have a lot of flaws. Like, as you said, Saquon, a lot of their receiving core is depleted. Sterling Shepard's out. Tony is out, their rookie receiver last year, but
Yes.
I don't think Daniel Jones can keep up the play. He's been really good. I'm just sorry, Giants fan. I just don't think they're gonna keep it up.
Yeah. And I mean, it's tough to say at this point. Like Nando said, Saquon Barkley has probably been the greatest running back in the NFL as of right now. But Daniel Jones is even playing like well enough to win these games. Just barely, and I mean they barely beat the Packers. That was a very good game if anybody watched it. Giants fans especially cheering in the stands. Yeah, but and he has the Giants do have some injuries, especially at receiver. I mean Sterling Shepard's banged up a little bit, and the defense is playing exceptional as well, and they're holding teams enough to where that offense can keep with them. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And also, like for the playoffs, I just don't think they're gonna make it because if you look at their division, I think the Eagles and Cowboys are probably gonna make it.
Yeah, I agree.
Minnesota, Green Bay are probably both gonna make it, so that leaves one team left for the wild card. So
Yeah.
I just don't think they're gonna sneak in.
so, and I know some people only had the Jets to only win two, not the Jets, the Giants to only win two games on the year.
Right.
And the fact that they're doing this, everybody's shocked. So
Right, yeah.
that's just the thing. It's we'll see how it goes.
Right. All right, guys. So we are going to switch the what are we calling it here? Switch the suggestions. Yeah,
Yeah.
the topic. So next we have the controversial topic of the day. The Jets beat the Dolphins last week. Frank. Oh, man. I mean, Teddy Bridgewater got injured early, and they left that game in the hands of Skylar Thompson. He was getting banged up a lot too, and the Jets just played really well.
Yeah.
Michael Carter, Brees Hall, of course.
Yeah, so first play, Teddy goes down. Skyler, seventh round draft pick. He's a rookie. He's from Kansas State. He could run a little bit, but he did not have any clue of types of schemes and plays that they really wanted to do with Teddy. So they throw him in there, and you got as much as you probably hoped for. Tyreek had a decent game.
Yeah.
Not many yards, but he had a couple catches. Raheem Mostert was pretty much, I'd say, the star of the game because he had over 100 yards.
Right.
Xavier Howard was out. Brian Jones still out. Taron Armstrong, left tackle, got injured. I just think the Jets played really good. I got to give them props, Nando.
They did.
They showed up, and they came to play. And the Dolphins, were down a few players, but their backups didn't really step up to the plate and play.
Well, I remember the cards fell out of his playbook.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, or his wrist strap. I don't know what happened with that. And I knew that he just didn't know some of the plays. But the thing is with the Jets, our receivers didn't really do much. It was all Brees Hall and Michael Carter. Michael Carter got the touchdowns. Brees Hall the 99-yard reception.
Right.
Yeah, I remember.
Over
Yeah.
100 yards receiving and rushing.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Mhm.
Especially for a rookie like him, He has to prove something.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Michael Carter and Brees Hall really looking like that 1-2 punch, and whether it was a missed assignment or something breaking tackles, they just looked really good.
Yeah.
Especially if Garrett Wilson and Elijah Moore continue to play well. If Elijah Moore plays how he did at the end of last season with Zach Wilson, the defense is looking really good to me.
Yeah.
Sauce Gardner finally got his first interception.
There it
It was
is.
bound to happen, but
I mean, it was a tipped ball, but yes, it was a good interception, good play. And he pretty much shut down Tyreek. I mean, Tyreek had a couple good catches, but nothing really over the top, and
Yeah.
he limited him.
He did.
Sauce also got that hit on Teddy early in the game.
Oh, yeah.
And who knows if he doesn't do that? Who knows?
Yeah.
If that ever happened.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, that could have changed the result of the game. Teddy's a manageable backup quarterback.
Mhm.
I mean, of course, the Dolphins obviously weren't expecting Skylar Thompson to come in and play the rest of the game.
Mhm.
So they just had to try to adapt to that, and they just couldn't. The Jets just played well all around
hmm
last week. So we are going to switch again to our next topic of the day for you guys. The Jets, we're going to stick with them, but this week they play the same team that the Giants played, the Green Bay Packers. So, who's going to win this game? Who are you watching? What key matchups are you looking for in this game? How about you, Nando?
I'm gonna be looking at the Sauce and the Christian Dobbs or whatever his name is. What's his name exactly? Or Watson, I think.
Christian Watson and Romeo Dobbs.
Right, yeah.
Because Packers wideouts aren't the best. I think we all know that, the rookies and everything. And
Right.
Yeah.
so especially, I know Rodgers is gonna be fine under pressure and everything. That we all know that how he is. It's just on how our corners are gonna do against them. Because if Rodgers has nothing to throw to, it's gonna be a lot of Aaron Jones and stuff.
Yeah.
And for the Packers defensive wise, Jair on whether it's Elijah Moore or Garrett Wilson,
Right.
I want to see what Zach Wilson does because I could see an upset. Obviously, I start playing.
Yeah.
But I don't want to just say them every week. We will see on how Zach Wilson does against that defense because the Packers defense is top 10, top 5, I'd say, in the league too.
Right.
So it's really good.
And I mean, so far, Zach Wilson's 2-0 in his first 2 games back, and I mean, he's red hot right now.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
we'll see how the Jets definitely play. I do like what he said about Sauce versus whatever receiver is going to be going up against them for Green Bay. That's definitely something we're going to need to watch because that's obviously Aaron Rodgers' number 1 guy. And if he's locked down, it's going to be a pretty rough day for Green Bay.
Yeah, and my takeaway from that Packers and Giants game is where did Aaron Jones go? I mean, he's first in the league in yards per carry, but he's not even cracking the top 20 in attempts. They have to
Right.
give him the ball more. I know they got Alan Lazard back, so I wonder if Sauce is going to be guarding him maybe instead of
That could
Romeo
be.
Dobbs.
Yeah,
'Cause I think he's the number one target for the Green Bay team.
I think so.
Him.
Everyone
Yeah.
likes him, and I know they have Tanyan still, AJ Dillon. They have good receivers and running backs, and even a good O-line. But I want to see if that Jets team can really lock in and force Aaron Rodgers to be uncomfortable in the pocket and make some errant throws. I know Aaron Rodgers hasn't really been going deep that much this year. Hasn't had much positive yards from that. So I want to see if he throws deep, throws under the top. I want to see just basically how the Jets are going to want to guard Aaron.
Right.
He's really just a great quarterback.
Yeah, and if you saw the last game with the Giants and the Packers, you saw that A.J. Dillon was actually lining up as a slot receiver a few times in that game. So we'll see, like, if Aaron Rodgers is going to go to him more during the game. Is he going to find A.J. Dillon open in the slot, and then Aaron Jones is going to plow through on the ground? You know what I'm saying? So,
See, I don't even think the Jets are at like their full health either. Like the line and everything too. Like and tight end, our Tyler Conklin has been playing amazing recently. I'm not gonna lie.
really?
I don't know where CJ Uzoma is or whatever.
Uzama,
Yeah.
He has not been like in the like lineup as much as I hoped. But
Right.
I mean, I just hope the passing offense is good this against the Packers. I really want to see how Zach Wilson does. If he's like the future, I guess.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, he just has to watch out for Alexander, because if whoever he's guarding, Garrett Wilson, or if he's guarding other top receivers, you don't want him throwing the ball in harm's way. So I know Zach Wilson was kind of a turnover machine last year, so he's been limiting that. He's been better. So
Right.
He's got to keep it up.
And then at safety, they have Adrian Amos, I believe, and then Darnell Savage is on the other side, I believe. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. If there's any Packers fans that are watching this video, let me know if I'm wrong. So, we are going to go to our last topic before we give you guys our game picks for this week. Guys, Russell Wilson.
Let's ride.
Let's
That's
You know, he has underperformed. I'll say that, and that's probably giving him the benefit of the doubt. He just has not played well at all. And I mean, there's no excuses anymore. He has a good team around him. There was a good defense in Denver. He has the receivers now. I mean, of course, we all know Javonte Williams, unfortunately, did go out for the year with an injury. But, I mean, Melvin Gordon, he's serviceable as well. You know, so in my opinion, there's no like way for us to get around this.
My takeaway of, first of all, they should have ran the ball on that last play.
Yeah.
He missed the guy. Even if they didn't run the ball, he didn't go through his reads. He missed KJ Hamler going right through for the slant. Could have had an easy touchdown. But he's just been really underperforming.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to be a lot better. He just doesn't have the connection to the receivers yet. The offensive play calling seems a little uneasy right now, too. They got to figure out what to do with the offensive game plan, because they played overtime, too. So over 60 minutes, they didn't score a single touchdown. They got 3 field goals out of that whole game. That's just poor and pathetic by that offense.
100%. I agree. No.
It is early on in the season, so and it is Russell Wilson, but like the recency bias, like with everybody like hating on him, like forget like what he has done and like why they signed him. But I do think he could turn it around because it is Russell Wilson, and I know how we know how he is.
Right.
It's just he has to like get used to his wide receivers, get used to the new. Maybe he doesn't like the playbook is weird. Maybe he doesn't like. Who knows? You guys see what was his name? Is it KJ Hamler?
KJ Hamler.
Yeah, he was mad about like he didn't get the ball on that slant that he didn't see.
He was right. If you watch those highlights back, he could have walked in that end zone and won the game for the Broncos.
Yeah, and also another thing, Russ isn't scrambling anymore. I don't know if you guys realize that, but in Seattle days, he used to scramble out of the pocket all the time. Make throws to DK, make throw to Lockett, Doug Baldwin. He's not really scrambling that much. I mean, he had like 2 scrambles, but they were for like maybe 15 yards. He got out of balance. He just looked really slow and sluggish, and I think he's starting to age.
Yeah. He misses Seattle. I'm sure right now. He misses Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, those guys that just go up and wherever he puts the ball, like, they go for it. You know?
Do you guys think we could talk about the Raiders really quick? What do you guys
think? Raiders. They are really underperforming. I'll say that. They're even worse than Denver. They have a stacked offense, like, on paper. Like Devontae Adams. Darren Waller, who really hasn't been great recently. Josh Jacobs isn't a terrible running back. Derek Carr's not the worst quarterback in the league. They have people that can catch the ball. They have Hunter Renfro. These guys are some of the best route runners in the entire NFL. Like, I don't understand how this team is playing bad. It could be the coaching. It might not be. What do you guys think?
I mean, I know Darren Waller was hurt a little bit in that game, but everything is going wrong for the Raiders. I know some people even predicted the Broncos or Raiders to be the top of this division.
Yeah.
And they've just been looking horrible. And, like, that final play of the game, too, both the receivers run into each other. And, like, they blow, like, it was like a 17-0 lead. It is the Chiefs, but still they blow the lead.
Yeah.
And then they go for that 2-point conversion instead of just kicking the extra point and going into overtime.
Yeah, I don't like that call.
See, I actually like that call because if you look at who they're playing, there was 4 minutes left to go. Kansas City on the road, Mahomes gets the ball. Now, they did get a stop, but I think that was the right call because if they get that, they're up 1, and they make KC go for the field goal.
That is true.
And they don't have to worry about any of that other drama. But, yeah, that last play was ridiculous how Devontae was doing a post and they just ran into each other. I thought it was a flag at first, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
The run game has been really good, though. Josh Jacobs had a good night.
He did.
It's just they can't seem to finish the games. Kind of just like Russell Wilson that we last talked about. They get the drives going, but they just can't really punch in the touchdowns. Their defense has been good. It's just they got to play better.
They do have, like, a really good kicker, too. Carlson, he played really I know he had, like, 3 field goals, and, like, he made all of his, like, so he did good for them, too.
Yeah, and I mean, even the Chargers are underperforming a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I expected better from them, especially. I expected them to give Kansas City more of a run than they are right now. Yeah, I mean, you could say all you want. Los Angeles, they've lost a lot of people due to injury. Of course, Justin Herbert, Keenan Allen, but you know the Chargers as a team, they got to find a way to work around it. You know, you gotta expect that. You know, you gotta expect for something bad to happen. You gotta be prepared if something bad happens.
Yeah.
So, the Chiefs, they're doing really well. They did beat the Chargers. They beat the Raiders. They beat Tampa. They've beaten some, like, decent teams. Like, they've beaten decent rosters, you know, and they deserve to be 4-1 because they're playing for it.
And how about that roughing the passer call on Chris Jones when he had that strip sack? That's just
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's just unbelievable.
I mean, they have the best quarterback in the NFL, so that's going to help a lot, obviously.
Right, of course.
That game against, like, Tampa, he's just doing stuff like that, like, you know what I mean?
Right.
On Tyreek Hill, too. Kelsey, 4 touchdowns, like, it's just how Mahomes is. I don't know. I don't see them, like, slowing down anytime soon as long as he's, like, healthy and stuff.
Right, yeah.
I don't think that either, but I think for that sack, they should start replaying it like college does, to be able to challenge the flags, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
Stuff like that because, well, he did hit him, and he is a big lineman for sure, but I don't think that was worthy of the penalty.
Yeah, I don't think it was either.
I understand, like, the safety of the quarterbacks. They're trying to protect them, but, like, it's football, though, so it's, like, things are going to happen.
Right.
Like, if you just can't, if you have to, like, avoid your body weight landing on someone and everything, you have to worry you can't go for their legs. Mm-hmm. I understand the leg thing. Like, I can see that. Like, that could be really bad, but, like, everything else, like, landing on them, I don't like, I don't know. Like, it's football. Like,
Yeah, I agree.
Guys, so the last thing we are going to do for you guys today is we are going to give you our game picks for week 6 of the NFL season. Frank, how about you read them for us?
All right, so the first one, Thursday Night Football, which is tomorrow. It's the Bears versus Washington. I'll start first. So I think the Bears are going to win. I know Carson Wentz and Ron Rivera have been a little heated because, I don't know if you guys saw that, but Ron Rivera kind of called him out and said that he needs to play better, which he had a good week last week. But
right.
I just don't think they're going to be on the same page, Carson Wentz and Rivera. I know he's more of a defensive guy, but I just think the Bears are going to be able to sneak this one out with the tough defense. You know, Chicago is known for their defense. I think Wentz probably have a couple interceptions or a fumble, you know, a couple sacks here or there.
Yeah.
And hot take, I think Wentz might get traded, is going to get traded before the trade deadline And Ron Rivera is going to get fired
Oh,
before the
wow.
trade deadline also.
That's a hot take. We'll see what happens. I am going to disagree. I'm going to take the Commanders. Not by much, but just because the defensive line, even without Chase Young for the Commanders, is still really good. And what the Bears don't have on their team is a good offensive line. So I think the Commanders are really going to force Justin Fields to make some bad passes, and the Commanders are going to win close.
I know the Bears like to run the ball, and I know how the Washington defensive line is. And just for that reason, I'm going to pick Washington.
Yeah.
And I think Wentz is going to have, not like a comeback game, but, I think he's just going to play well against them. And then, we'll see what Ron Rivera has to say after the game if they win.
Yeah.
If they lose, he might just say the same thing. Either way, we'll see.
Yeah.
The next game is 49ers versus Atlanta.
Nando?
I think the Niners just look really good against them. I think they played really well last week. I forget who they
They
played.
played Carolina.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they played well. I just see Nick Bosa having a good game, and then
Yeah.
forcing who are they playing again? What team is it?
49ers versus the Falcons.
Oh yeah, I think
Falcons,
Mariota
yeah.
isn't going to be able to deal with that pressure and
Yeah.
anything.
I agree.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think 49ers are probably going to win too. Jimmy G has been getting steadily better each week. You know, the connections to Ayuk, Kittle, and DJ Samuel, obviously. But I just think that they're going to be much of a match. They played Tampa pretty good, though, until those last couple seconds, till the roughing the passer call. But
Yeah.
I think the 49ers are going to win that easily. The next game is Cincinnati versus the Saints. What do you guys think?
So I am going to take the Saints. They are one of those other teams who have dealt with a lot of injuries already. Especially Jameis Winston, who last year, people forget, but before he got injured last year, had the Saints at 5-2. I don't think the Saints are going to win huge. I just think they're going to win close. Because I don't like the way Cincinnati's playing at all.
What do you think, Nando?
I just like the Bengals in this one. I think they just look like the better team on paper and everything. I think Joe Burrow could have a really good game. It just depends on if the receivers get open. If they're open, Joe Burrow's going to see them across the middle and everything. T. Higgins and all them.
Yeah.
Because I've been seeing T. Higgins play really well. I haven't heard much of Jamar Chase this season, but I think Mixon, I think, is going to be playing too. So I think it's just going to be too much for the Saints.
Yeah,
Just
and
their offense.
I'm
Yeah.
going with the Bengals also. But I don't know if Jameis is playing. He might be out. But if he's out, that means Andy Dalton's in
Yeah.
against the Bengals, which could be his revenge game. But I just don't think he's going to be able to pull it off. Taysom Hill had a great week last week. I think he put up 3 or 4 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was 3 on the ground, 1 passing. Yeah.
Wow. And then Kamara had a good week. Christian
Yeah.
Olave. But I just think the Bengals are going to be too much for that defense. And
Yeah.
make a couple more plays at the end. That'll beat them. The next game is the Buccaneers versus the 1-4 Steelers.
Oh, boy. All right. The Buccaneers are going to kill them. I'm telling you right now. There's no reason why Pittsburgh should win this. If they do, I'd be absolutely stunned. Pittsburgh is one of the worst teams in the NFL right now. As much as people hate to say it. Because I know there's a lot of Pittsburgh fans. But they are playing like one of the worst teams in the NFL. Tampa's offense hasn't been that great, but they're going to get past Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is Tom Brady. So him against any defense I trust. It's just who he is.
Right,
20
yeah.
plus years, he's gonna read the TV. So it's Kenny Pickett is just the biggest question mark right now.
Yeah.
Obviously, he just lost what was it 3 or 10 to 38 against the Bills, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he picks it up this week, I could see an upset. I don't think it's gonna happen though. I just think the Bucs offense and defense is too much for a rookie, and Tom Brady's just gonna find his receivers too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think Tampa's going to win. The Steelers haven't been getting Najee going at all. Claypool has been ineffective. They got George Pickens going and Deontay Johnson a little bit, but I think they're going to be too much. And if you guys saw the Bills game, Gabe Davis absolutely mossed Minka Fitzpatrick.
Yes, he did.
Or I don't know what you want to call it, but he just swiped the ball away for the touchdown. I just don't think they're going to be much of a match. And Cam Hayward actually retweeted a tweet saying Mike Tomlin was a bad coach. I don't know if that's a little bad blood. He apologized about it, but
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin starting to maybe lose that locker room with the 1-5 start. They gotta play better.
Yeah. And if you had Gabe Davis in fantasy football, he put up 38 points. And I actually had him, so glad I started him this week. This was the first week I actually decided to put him into my lineup, so.
Mm-hmm. The next game is the Jaguars versus the Colts.
I see the Jaguars winning that. The Colts just came off a horrible game against the Broncos, even though they did win, but it was like all field goals, I think. And
Yeah.
I just think Trevor Lawrence is going to lead that team with Kirk and all of them to a win. There's not much else to it.
Yeah. And he covered it all. I think the Jags are going to win this. Not by too much. I'm not sure if Jonathan Taylor's coming back this week from injury. I'm pretty sure that's game time decision.
Yeah, I'm not too
But,
sure about that.
yeah, I think the Jags will take this one. They'll sweep Indy.
I agree with you guys. I'm going with Jags. Comeback game. I don't think anyone thought the Jaguars were going to lose to the Texans last week, but they did.
Oh, no. I doubt anybody thought that.
But I think they're going to find a way to pull out a win against the Colts, and they haven't really been looking that good, the Colts. Matt Ryan hasn't really looked that good, and the Jaguars' defense is good. They have some pass rushers, so I think they're going to be able to get to him, force some turnovers and some incompletion, stuff like that, and I just think they're going to be able to sneak out this win. The next game is Green Bay versus Nando's Jets. What do you think, Nando?
We did talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, we did.
but
Yeah.
I do. I see the Jets winning. I'm not gonna lie. We're playing really well right now. I think the running backs are gonna have a good game. Well, I could see the Packers winning because it is Rodgers, and you never know. Are the Jets home? Does anyone know?
I think they are, but I can look at
If the Jets are home, I do have them winning. I could see even a blowout. Believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
I could see that happening.
Wow. That's a hot take. I'm also going to take the Jets, though. Zach Wilson, he'll be 3-0. And I think the Jets are just going to keep rolling, which is going to give Miami a lot of pressure. Frank.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm not going to agree with you. I just think the Jets are going to fall back to earth a little bit. And I don't know the stat. I don't think Aaron Rodgers has lost to both New York teams in a very long time. And I just don't think that's going to happen. I think it'll still be a close game. I just think the Packers are probably going to win off a field goal or a late touchdown.
All right.
The next game is the Patriots versus the Browns.
I am going to take Cleveland. I know a lot of people who actually have the Patriots winning this game because they beat the Lions and they shut them out. The Lions really aren't that great still. I think they will be a better team, in the coming years, but I expected the Patriots to beat the Lions, and I think the Browns are going to take this one pretty easily. Nick Chubb is going to take them to the win.
Nando, what do you think?
I think the Browns are going to win. I think the Browns just have too much firepower for that Patriots team. I do think Nick Chubb and Cooper are going to have a good game against them because I could just see that Cooper getting open a lot, Chubb getting a lot of yards, and then I just think it's going to be too much for them. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game for them, honestly.
Okay.
I'm going to disadisagree. I'm going New England second.
Wow.
I know you said last week that New England was going to lose to the Lions, but they upset.
Maybe I did, yeah.
I think they're going to upset again because, first off, I don't know if Mac Jones is back, but if he is back, that's a huge boost. Jacoby Myers has been really good.
Yeah.
I know Damian Harris might be out, but they still have Stevenson. He's a good back.
Yeah.
Also, the Patriots are known for taking out the opposing team's best players, so they're going to focus on that run game. I think they're going to be able to limit Nick Chubb and force Jacoby Brissett to pass. I just think they're going to sneak this one out with their tough defense. Bill Belichick knows how to coach in this league, and he knows how to make adjustments, and I think they're going to be able to do that and neutralize the Browns' offense. The next game is the Ravens versus the Giants.
Ooh.
Oh boy. Well, the Ravens are the best 3-2 team I think in the entire NFL right now. The Giants somehow are just playing really well with Saquon, like we talked about earlier. But the Giants are going to take a loss here to Baltimore. I think Baltimore is really hot right now. They're a really good team. Honestly, they could be 5-0 right now. They could be just as good as Philly. But yeah, I think the Ravens will take it. Not by much.
I think I feel like the Giants are gonna win. I just feel an upset because I do think the Ravens are the favorite just because like how close the games have been. I could see the Giants winning off like a field goal or something, like just a very close game. Just the Giants get like a touchdown here or there, and if they stop Lamar a few times, honestly, I could see the Giants winning. So I think the Giants are gonna win, just barely though.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Ravens, but I could see that also. I just think it's gonna be a really low scoring game, and Lamar's gonna make a couple more plays than Daniel Jones and Saquon and get them into territory to kick a field goal or a game winning touchdown. The next game is the Vikings versus my Dolphins. What do you guys think?
Well, the Dolphins are still without Tua this week.
Yep.
And this is a pretty good team that they're playing. So, Frank, I'm sorry, man. I have to take the Vikings here, dude. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, whoever they have, Adam Thielen. You know, these guys are really good. And the Dolphins' corners are banged up. Xavier Howard, I don't know if he's playing. Byron Jones, I'm not sure if he's playing. We're not sure. I don't know if you know on the status of Miami.
So Howard's questionable. I know Skylar Thompson is supposed to get the start, and Teddy's going to back him up. But I don't know if Teddy's going to make it out of special protocol. And Tua just started throwing. Tyreek was in a walking boot, or a leg boot, but he's out of it now, so he's practicing.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll have Tyreek back.
So who are you going to take?
I'm going to take, sadly, I'm going to take Minnesota.
Yeah.
I just think they're going to be too much for this defense. And Miami does have a solid defense. It's just, I think they're going to wear them down because they're not going to get much going on offense if they have Skylar Thompson. You know, maybe they'll have a couple good drives, a field goal, a couple touchdowns, but I'm not really expecting that much. I'm waiting for Tua to come back. I just think they're going to be too much, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I just think the Vikings, like, they have the experience and everything. Justin Jefferson might have, like, a field day with that team with how they are.
Yeah.
It's too much to worry about. And then Dalvin Cook out the backfield could always get open, too.
Yeah.
I just think it's too much, so I got the Vikings.
The next game is the Seahawks versus the Cardinals.
Boy. Go ahead, Nando.
I'm going to take the Seahawks. I think Geno Smith has been playing really well. Everybody has realized that. And DK, Tyler Lockett, always a good pair.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, I think the Seahawks are just going to play better. I do think, like, the Cardinals could win. I think everybody knows that. But I think the Seahawks have been playing really well, and I could see them continuing the streak.
All right, well, I'm going to have to disagree. I think the Cardinals are just going to do just enough to beat Seattle here. You know, Seattle's defense isn't really too great, and I feel like Kyler Murray's definitely going to be able to make some plays.
I'm going to go Hawks. Like Nando said, Geno's been great. And the Cardinals have really started off the season sluggish. I know against the Eagles, they were down 17-0. A bunch of other teams, they were trailing a lot. I think they're going to be in a deficit to start off, and I don't think they're going to be able to come back. The next game is the Rams versus the Panthers, who just recently fired their head coach, Matt Rule.
Well, Matt Stafford, I'll tell you this. They played my Cowboys this weekend, and he got hit 29 times. He got destroyed by that defense. And I feel like he's really, like, having some trouble. You know, he was definitely shaken up a little bit. And I feel like that's just going to be enough to throw him off his game. So, Carolina's going to win this one.
I think the Rams are going to win. I just think, like, Matt Stafford's going to have a comeback game. I don't see. I mean, I could see the Panthers winning, but I can't. I just can't see Matt Stafford having like another bad game. He needs to pick it up.
Yeah.
Cup is still there. He is still probably, if not the best receiver in the game right now.
Yeah.
He still puts up crazy numbers. It just depends because you know how the Rams defense is. It's just all comes down to Stafford. If he plays well, gets good protection, I think they will win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to go Rams here also. The Rams line is really banged up, and Panthers do have a good pass rush, but I think Stafford's going to find a way to give the ball to his best receivers, Cup, Higbee, maybe sprinkle in some Allen Robinson, and I think they're just going to find a way to pull this out. I think it's going to be a closer game than people think, though.
I agree.
Of the way the Rams have been playing. They're missing a lot of players, and I forgot to mention Van Jefferson on offense, too.
Right, yeah.
And the Panthers are going to be riled up because they just fired their head coach. They're going to want to prove something. I think the Rams are going to sneak this one out.
Yeah.
The next game is the rematch of last year's two AFC teams, the Chiefs versus the Bills.
Man, this one is tough. Frank, start us off.
I'm going to go KC. First of all, I just believe in Mahomes more than Allen, just a little bit. But I just think he has more experience. He's a better thrower, and he's more accurate. I'm going to go with that. I know the Bills have better receivers. They have a better run game. Well, they have similar run games, but they have better running backs. I'll say that. And they have the better defense. I just think Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Andy Reid are going to find a way to win like they always do.
Yeah. Man, this one's tough. Buffalo's been killing people. Just every single game. Like, other than that Miami game, they have slaughtered every single team they've played. So I have to take Buffalo. Not by much at all, though. It's the revenge game for Josh Allen. He wants it. But, if these two teams play in the playoffs this year, that's when you really want to win, So if the Bills do lose this one, of course it'll probably still be heartbreaking for Josh Allen, but yeah, I think the Bills will take this real close.
I just think I got the Bills just because I think they have looked unstoppable on offense. And I feel like the Bills' defense is better than the Chiefs, but it is hard to stop Mahomes, though.
It is.
Like, they figure out to, even something, get a couple stops. I can't see the Chiefs stopping Allen and them.
Yeah.
Allen could always just scramble for 5-7 yards easily. And I just see them being too much for the Chiefs and getting another win.
Yeah.
So my reasoning is because Josh Allen never beat Mahomes before, so I just don't think that's going to happen. But you never know.
We'll see.
Yeah. And then the Sunday night football game is the Eagles versus your Cowboys.
This is the toughest game of the week. These two teams are going to battle on Sunday Night Football. I recommend this one to watch. I'm going to say, unfortunately, the Cowboys' Cooper Rush will take his first ever NFL loss to the Eagles, but it's not going to be close. Well, no. It is going to be close. My bad. Sorry. It is going to be close. I feel like the Cowboys could win this game if they can get the pressure to Jalen Hurts. Both of these offenses, are pretty good, but I think Philly's going to have a tough time against Dallas's defense. I think the Cowboys' offense is going to have a really tough time against Philly's defense. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game for these two killer teams, and Philly's just going to take it just real close. Jalen Hurts is just going to do enough.
Nando, what do you think?
I could see the Cowboys winning, but I do have the Eagles winning. I think Jalen Hurts is just playing really well. And it's the Eagles. They're on a hot streak. They got everything going. Everything's working out. And I can't see them slowing down against the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to ride with the Eagles too. I don't know when they're going to get their first L, but I don't think it's going to be this game. If you look at both the teams, they're both similar.
Yeah.
Both have a really good running game. Both have a good O-line.
Both have a good defense.
Both have a good defense. I just think the difference is at quarterback.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush Jalen Hurts is better than him. Whether it be running or throwing.
Right.
I just think the Eagles have an advantage in that sector of the game, and that'll determine why the Eagles win.
Yeah.
And then the last game, the Monday Night Football game, is the Chargers versus the Broncos.
I'll take the Chargers. The Broncos just aren't that great, and I don't think they'll be great this year. I feel like people were definitely wrong about them. People could say it's too early to judge them, but I don't know. They're not that great.
I'm gonna take Broncos country.
Oh,
I could see Wilson having a good game this week against the Chargers. I want to see how he does against the defense, but I do think like it's just gonna be like Russell Wilson just plays better than Herbert. Nothing else. That's it.
we'll see.
Yeah, I think actually it's going to be an upset too. I think the Broncos are going to win. So
Wow.
something in my gut is telling me to trust Russell Wilson because of that debacle on Thursday night. I think they're going to get together. I think it's still going to be very sloppy between both teams, but I just think they're going to find a way to win. And I just believe in Russell Wilson. I think he's finally going to make his comeback and start the season off with another win.
We'll see. All right, everybody. That is going to wrap up our video here. Maybe do something for me. Go down to the comments and let us know what your picks are for this week so we can look them over and we will reply to your comment. We'll let you know what we feel is right, what we feel is wrong, give you an opinion. So, that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you want, hit the like and subscribe button down below. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Nando. Have a good one, everybody.